It's January 8th, 2026. This is day 6 of First Generation in Medicine Tips. Today we need to talk about gap years, gap time, gap spaces in your trajectory to medicine. There is always a big and hot discussion about whether you should do it, shouldn't do it, must not do it. Let's get into exactly how to think about that. Remember to follow my page so you don't miss a single episode, and let's get right into it. We've got 3 things to consider. Number 1, it must be said, it is not a disadvantage to take gap time. In fact, the average age of the accepted medical student goes up year after year after year. There's a lot of things that go into this around the average maturity of people when they're younger. Also, the amount of time it takes people to really mature their career interests to the point that they want to make a commitment to something like medical school. Taking the time to do what you need to do to be in the right position to apply is totally okay, and oftentimes is an advantage. It's not a disadvantage if you don't take one, and also it's not a disadvantage if you do. The second thing we have to talk about is money. Med school is very expensive, and oftentimes taking a gap year or a gap career helps people make the money they need to pay tuition, but also to support themselves through med school. We'll talk about financing medical school in a different video. But suffice it to say, one of the ways people do it is by actually working and earning the money that they need to do it. Not everybody has to go to medical school in their 20s or has to go right away. I've seen people take the time who don't regret it. They take the time, they make the money, and it makes it so much more achievable, and their quality of life in medical school is better because they're not living on ramen noodles. Third thing requires being honest with yourself. What I'm talking about here is really acknowledging when you're ready to apply to medical school. For a lot of people, particularly non-traditional applicants or people who are first generation in medicine, you might have found the passion, the calling to medicine, but not actually explored it in enough depth to substantiate the interest. Usually that means having some sort of clinical experience, whether it's volunteering or working a job in healthcare or shadowing or some combination of all of those parts. Oftentimes, people have to take some time away after college, either to do a full-time clinical experience and get that exposure, or alongside doing whatever else they're doing, passing some of that experience so that you really know with substance that medicine is right for you and can speak about it in a compelling way on the application. There's one kind of bonus thing I really want to talk about here, which is that there's more to life than becoming a doctor. Sometimes you want to take time to get married, have kids, raise your kids, spend some of the formative years with your children. Maybe it has nothing to do with kids. You want to travel, you want to write a book, there's some other experience that you want to have. It doesn't always have to be strategic. Sometimes you just want to take the time to do something else with your life. That can wind up being one of the most compelling things on your application, just incidentally. But it's always worth it to take the time you need to live a life of meaning in a way that's meaningful to you. Remember to follow for daily tips on how to become a doctor.